ओम नमो भगवते श्री अरुणाचल। नमस्ते एवरीवन।
अहमेव परं ब्रह्म निश्चितं चित्यचिन्त्यता छिद्रोपत्वात् असङ्गत्वात् अभात्यत्वात् प्रयत्नतः छिद्रोपत्वात् असङ्गत्वात् अभाद्यद्वात् प्रयत्नतः. Please have the firm conviction that I am Brahman itself. That Brahman is consciousness and it is unattached and it is ever present. Please practice continuously on this.
Brahman is unattached, and if we are Brahman, we are unattached. You feel that you are unattached to everything. Brahman is ever present. Are we ever present? Where are we in deep sleep? And when in waking we are present, how are we present? In a form which is changing. Brahman is changeless. We think we are changing. The body was young, getting older. Internally also thoughts are changing, feelings are changing. Brahman is changeless. We are Brahman. We are changeless. Changeless and ever present. What we think we are, that is not ever present. We only think when this waking state is there, we are present. And when the dream comes, we are dreaming, not present. And obviously, in deep sleep, we are not there. So, this is not our experience that we are ever present, changeless, and most importantly, unattached. We are attached to so many things. And attachment starts with the body idea. Contemplate on the truth, on reality, in which we are changeless, ever present, unattached, uninvolved, and also very importantly, taintless, untainted, spot free, Niranjan. We are guilty of so many things from past and even now. Keep doing mistakes. We get angry and then think, oh, I should have not spoken like this. That means we are not in natural, comfortable state. That means we wanted to do something but did something else. We have this duality in our mind. That means there is no harmony. It means that before that pure Brahman takes a decision, which is ever present, changeless, unattached, pure, something else jumps and takes a decision and then repents. Identify this who does things sometimes in a right way, sometimes not in a right way. And even when it does in a right way, it has a doubt whether it was right or wrong. And whenever it decides, it is not unbiased. It always puts one body more important than other bodies. It's not a fair play. It is not impartial. Go from this energy to that. That is Brahman. How to be that? By constant remembrance. Whatever path you take, you cannot escape from one thing. Practice of constantly remembering it. Techniques to remember can be different, but you attain that by constant remembrance. Remember that in silence, in pure silence, in inner silence. This is the direct remembrance. You're not using any middle agent, which you might have to drop later. Internally, we know two things: thoughts and silence. Thoughts are superimposed on silence. Silence is Brahman. We are that Brahman. Be one with silence. Bhagavan used to say, keep quiet. Externally, internally. Silence is the other name of Brahman. In this silence, we have darshan of our true nature. But this, what is known as Atman or self, is the most intimate, yet we cannot call it I. We cannot identify as body. This I cannot be utilized for body identification, for thought identification. This comes from some other word, not part of this. This body mind comes through nature, part of the nature, Prakriti, which has attributes, which is transforming, changing, always on the move. In Vedanta, anything which is changing is illusion, Maya, because it looks something and then later something else. Things like sun and moon, which look same, they are also changing. If you observe for millions of years, they are not the same. Anything which is projection of mind is changing. Anything in domain of time and space is changing. Now let's look into Atman, self. There is no scope of change in it. It has no attributes. It has no start, no end. It is as it is. Deeply contemplate on this truth that we are this one Atman, and it is only one. There are millions of bodies and people and millions and billions of mind, but they all have one support called Self, Atman. That Brahman you can call by any name, but when we realize it, it is always the same. It is unaffected by your religious inclination or your concepts. Go deeper and deeper in your inner silence. Mind can say, I am bored in this silence. Mind is movement, on the go all the time. Now, with all this movement of mind, know that you are that pure stillness, unmoving. This deep contemplation on stillness will make you detached from the mind and its activities. And you are the source of energy to the mind. If you give up this relationship, mind has no energy left and it will die its death. Manonasha. Our identification gives it energy. Our attention gives it energy. Our using mind makes it going. Be in your inner silence all the time. No reaction to anything. Stay in acceptance mode. More than acceptance, it is disinterest. Who comes, who goes, what happens, what not happens. None of our concern. Because to know Brahman, you have to get out of the game. You have to give up your identification as body. Nothing to say about it. It is only your own experience. More you want to say about it, you make mistakes. Just be. When we start living as silence, abiding in self, this body also goes through some experiences which are not that important. But I'm just telling you because some people get worried about those experiences. The reason is they still have some body identification. Otherwise, if you know you are not the body, then those experiences have no value. Same is at the level of mind. People start having some sort of intuitive power, clairvoyance, and all those things. They are in the domain of mind only. Because you are in so pure state, the mind gets some of that energy and projects. But if there is no identification with mind, you cannot say, I have Siddhi, I know this, I can do this. We have to be very vigilant about these things. So, first thing first is to give up identification with body mind complex. If that identification stays even at a fractional level, when the energy makes changes to mind or body, a pride can come, an ego can get bigger. When we cannot identify ourselves with anything, how good or bad it is, doesn't matter, then we are liberated. And then whatever we are is left. Let's say you are here in the picture, and now you identify yourself as the form of picture. You are this vast air in and outside it, that space. But somehow we are identifying with the picture. There are only two ways to know truth. One, you contemplate on that space in the picture that you are that. Though you are seeing the form all the time, but if you keep contemplating, you can get to that. Other is if that picture breaks away, then you see there's only space. It was just there for some time. Problem with this body is this form never breaks. Some can argue that what about death? In death also, out of Panch Koshas, only one is left. And you are left with something like what you see in dream, that subtle body. Because mind is still there. So this form is not going to disappear spontaneously. So constant contemplation on truth is important. Now this divine in us has been given different names coming from different faith. Sometimes repeating that name can help. Sometimes there is a mantra or the name of God you believe in. Constant japa, remembrance, can detach you from the body-mind identification. I feel The best constant japa is remembering the silence, being with the silence. I have to tell something about japa. Japa is a tool to know that it silences the mind. But then, even after attaining that pure silence, the japa continues. Though it does not create any problem, but I'm just telling you that there is no one to stop it. The tool is there, and the one using the tool has disappeared. It is like that. You will see a lot of jnanis who were using japa that continues, their hand keeps moving. You can see their lips. Sometimes it's going on internal. Though they are fully realized jnani, but the tool continues. And the one using it has disappeared now. That is why they say this Ram se bada Ram ka naam. That name, taking that name, is bigger than the God. Name of the God is bigger than the God. Because it has power to make you that. And some people find it hard to be in silence and no form and no name, because we are in habit of name and form. And so those people need an idol, a form, a picture, a name. And there is nothing wrong with that also. If we identify with the body, then definitely that self, what we want to be, it comes in our imagination as a form with a name. Then form will take you to the formless. Name will take you to the silence. Brahman is the perfect stillness, unmoving. And in that unmoving stillness, the body moves, things moves. But now our identification is with this stillness, unmoving. And body moves, body speaks, body eats, body has a name. But there is no issue with that. Body can still coexist in Brahman, as everything is there, existing in it. Yet, Brahman stays untainted. Where is the place of God in all this? There is one God which is creation of our mind. That God disappears. This ego created God and ego created word. They all dissolve when the ego dissolves. Then nothing is left. No ego, no word, no God. For some people, it is not acceptable that there is no God. For them, God is everything. And it comes because we still have identification with body. And not knowing the truth. Ultimate truth is that there is only self, Atman. If you want to call it God, go ahead and call it God. Nothing wrong with that. Then you can say that the God and self is the same. Guru is also that same self. So you can say God, Guru, self is same. Guru who speaks, whether it's Krishna, whether it's Ramana, it is the self speaking to us. You see a name and a form, but it is the self, Atman. Speaking to us to be that. There is no other purpose. Whatever Krishna said to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is only symbolic that he is saying to Arjuna. He is saying to all egos. Krishna is the self telling the ego what to do to know self. That battlefield described is also symbolic. This word is a battlefield. All the time we are confused, we are deluded. We are deluded because we think I am the doer. Arjun also felt he is the doer. And he said, now I am not fighting this war. He had no faith, no reverence to that power which drives everything. He thought he is the one. He is the doer. Buddha never talked about God. If you see, the ultimate reality is that only you exist. Now you can say that I am Self, I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Tvatvam Asi, I am that. If you want to call it God, nothing wrong. But then you will create a lot of controversy around you. How a person can be a God and all those sorts of concepts people have about God. God-man, cult, and all those sorts of nonsense creeps in. That's why Buddha kept it so pure, so clean. He never commented on God. He was asked so many times. He never said there is no God, and he never said there is God. Because when we know that, then we know everything. And when we know that, there's nothing to say about God. All the differences about gods and goddesses are because of our individual mind, coming from different culture, religious backgrounds, different conditioning. The moment you drop this mind, nothing is left. You are free from all concepts. But these concepts are the ladder by which you have known, so you have respect for it. And you know that it works. You have reverence, respect for whatever method you have used. Though now there is no need for that method, but others can use the same method to know that. Once you reach on the top of a hill, you don't need a path, but you cannot say path is not important. You have reached there by path only. Because you have taken the path, you know what were the obstacles, how you reached. If that pure energy wants you to talk about that path, you will not say it is not important, you will say it is most important. Once you reached, then you know that it was only means to reach. But it was not that. It was only a path. You respect path, you respect, you will keep respecting because it has made you that. But you also know that it was only a path. It was not the ultimate. This path led you to the ultimate and realized that ultimate, that you are that ultimate. There is nothing beyond you. There is nothing else to know. You are complete, Purna, whole. Out of the dream, do you think you have unfinished task? Only in dream you are busy as a doer. This doership is only a dream. And this power of Maya is so strong that no one is outside it except the Jnani. Whether you call it God, Goddess, whatever name you call any of those entities, they are all playing a role in this illusory world. Be in the silence of your own self, Atman. Pay attention to this only all the time. From self-attention to self-abidance, effortless self-abidance. Body is always on an auto mode. But ego makes you feel that you are getting up in morning, then you do this, and then you have to do this. It's a false control on things. But you know this really when you detach yourself and see how beautifully the body is still doing things. Unnecessary, I was putting burden on my head and thinking I am doing. We don't have control on this birth of the body, death of the body, situations around us. Not even control on the thoughts, what type of thought. No control on the dream. Can you choose your dreams that this is the dream I'll get today or this is the dream I'll not get? And then this waking state comes, we think we have control. And in dream also we think we have control. Give up this control. That control is ego. It's keeping us on this task. It is making us slave. We are all dancing on tunes of Maya, on this illusion. The whole world, everyone is dancing on it. So some are dancing thinking they are dancing, and some are dancing thinking they are happy, and others are unhappily dancing, but everyone is. In some jobs, when a boss wants you to do extra work, he gives you a carrot that I will give you bonus, I will elevate your post, now you will be manager. What manager? You have more responsibility, you have to look after more, you will reach home late. This Maya is like that. All in our life, the success. You had one business, now you have 100 business. You were millionaire, now you're billionaire. You're still eating the same food, you still sleep 8 hours. But now you have more responsibility and feeling, I am a billionaire. This is what the Maya is. And all these people around us are agents of Maya. They also tell you, look, you are so important. People know you. You are a professor. You got a Nobel Prize. You are the President of America. Anything. They are all working for Maya. No one is working for you. This world is nothing but an illusion. And we try to find joy in achievements. And everyone around us says, yes, achieve, compete, get ahead, be the winner. And at the end, we all die. These winners die. And we don't take anything from this world because it's illusion. You can't touch anything. It is like a 3D movie. Someone is giving you a banana, you try to hold and it's not there. Same is this. In this dream world, you get so many things, relationships, people, all sorts of things. And then what happens? When the body is dead, what do you take? What is left with you? Nothing. Isn't it life wasted? We put so much efforts. We cheat others. We kill others. We use rude words. We grab things from people. And at the end, everything is taken away from us. Everything. Even this body. And then we have to pay according to law of karma. Whatever bad deeds done, we have to be in hell. Hell is our own mind. Even if you go to heaven, that's again illusion. What I am saying is true to every human being, not to one or two people. Keep your attention on the inner silence. Though I am saying inner because thoughts are also inner. We feel they are inner. Inner because nobody else can listen to these thoughts. Only we can listen to these thoughts. But we can also listen to the inner silence, which is perpetual, unending. Focus on that only. Thoughts gives restlessness and silence gives peace, ananda, bliss. Thoughts come and go. Silence is always there. You might get distracted by thoughts, but the moment you realize this, you're back in your own silence. Soon this silence will take you out of this maya, this illusory I am the body idea, I thought. And everything what this mind has created, it will be there but not there for you in the way it is right now. Right now we are in the domain of mind, and that silence will move you out of this mind game, maya game. You will be outside as a witness, sakshi to everything, uninvolved, unattached. Unchanging. Silence is unchanging. Only unchanging can take you to unchanging. Silence is eternal. Even when this whole world will disappear, silence will be there. We are this silence. In silence, we realize all the forms to whom we are attached come and go in this silence. They come from silence, they come back to silence. Nothing is lost. This detachment brings a different type of attachment with everything. This is an eternal attachment, not dependent on forms, but knowing that energy is the same. Be the devotee of this inner silence. I believe this is the most direct path, direct teaching. From Dakshinamurti to Bhagavan Sri Raman Maharishi. And I'm sure there must be a lot of saints who would have found this path. And if you see this is not even a path, you are this silence. You start where you have to end. In some path, you move around and come back here only from the other door. In India, during marriages, bridegroom goes to the bride's house on a horse or elephant or in a car, whatever. And sometimes symbolically, because they are from other city, they can't go on a horse for that long. They come close to the house and they just symbolically they sit on a horse and walk few meters. Sometimes I have seen that they walk from the back of the house to the front of the house. As a kid, I had no clue why they were doing. So I used to say, why don't they just start here? This is the house in front. This is the gate. Why they're coming from the back like this? And people used to say, you have no clue. You don't understand these things. So same is this. Even the practices to know the truth. When it is there, we still take a path. We do pranayam, do postures, go up Shirshasana, do all sorts of nonsense. Please pardon my words, but that's what I feel, that when it is so clear, so vivid, so open, why you have to start from the body, which is an illusory body? Why don't you just be in yourself, which is also there? Why you have to put all the hard yards to the body, all pain to the body, tapas to the body, and then know that? That is why this Gyan Marga, path of knowledge, is so direct, so straight. It does not leave any doubt. And then the side effects. I have seen side effects of people taking path of yoga. Even Bhagwan time, someone's anterior fontanelle opened and the steam was coming out of it. Or something crazy can happen with these Kundalini Shaktis and all those tantras and all. Unless you have the proper teacher and you are staying with that teacher and he knows everything and he can teach you if something goes wrong. Anyway, each to his own. But this path has no side effects. That's why it is fine. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Arunachal Ramaya. Om Shanti Shanti.